what's this girl, Meghan Markle? Ah, seemed like a nice lady. Just complaining. I was like, didn't she hit the light skin lottery?
You see the interview last night? Oprah returned with Meghan and Harry in what will surely go down in history as the most shocking gender reveal party of all time.
So amazing. So many of you here to see me, huh? I feel like Meghan Markle. This is dope.
Lot going on to the news. My God, it's so crazy out there. What's going on with Meghan Markle? She thinks that everybody is just stupid. Like we can't see that she is manipulating his dumb husband.
Prince Harry, whose memoir just broke the Guinness record for fastest selling nonfiction book of all time. They're now releasing a version for kids. I don't know if you know about this. It's a twist on The Princess and the Pea. It's called The Prince and the Penis, and it's
They're so racist. They're so racist. Some of that he went through was not racism. It was just some in-law. Sometimes it's just some in-law.
Everyone thinks marrying a prince is like a fairy tale. Turns out it's not. Meghan Markle said that when she joined the royal family, they took away her passport, driver's license, and keys. Welcome to the royal family. Please remove your belt and get ready for a cavity search. And her husband, Harry, made a number of startling accusations.
This is so amazing. So many of you here to see me, huh? I feel like Meghan Markle. This is dope.
Because even black people want to know.
So well done. So brilliant. And it's like between that and the South Park thing, Emily, it's like the comedians they do a better job of bringing home someone's stupid, narcissistic, woke BS.
The biggest addiction in America is attention. We are addicted to attention. Can't get enough attention. We used to want love. Now we just want likes. Posting up pathetic pictures.
Posting those sad, try-hard photos suddenly hit different when Chris Rock walked onto a Netflix stage. The moment he grabbed the mic, things shifted fast. At that point, Meghan probably wished the Wi-Fi went out and the internet took a nap because the heat was only getting started, and it didn't stop there.
Gotta react to it. This is news making headlines today as yes, that's not racist. Meghan Markle, don't you dare call the royals racist. Oh man, this bit.
Lurking right behind the scenes was Jimmy Kimmel, ready to pile on and keep the jokes rolling. By the time late night comedy was done, the fairy tale image had fully flipped into a roast session that nobody could ignore. Before we get into this full-on takedown, make sure you hit subscribe and tap the notification bell right now. This channel breaks down the wild celebrity drama the mainstream keeps dodging, and today's story goes straight for the jugular. This breakdown dives into how two heavyweight comedians publicly ripped apart Meghan Markle's carefully built victim storyline on live television. And yeah, it wasn't flattering, it wasn't gentle, and it definitely wasn't subtle. Let's rewind for context. March 2023, Netflix goes live from Baltimore's Hippodrome Theater for Chris Rock's special Selective Outrage.
Even though all the news media ran with, she says there's a racist in the royal family, and she never went out to correct them. Will she come out to correct herself? Because she also said the royal family's racist because there's been debates about what title little Archie's going to get. And she suggested that's because she's half black and Archie's 1/4 black. And that was her other charge of racism. And now we get the update today via the Daily Mail. Harry and Meghan have christened their daughter Princess Lilibet Diana. And they have updated the website, or will now be updating the website to call little Archie Prince Archie.
This wasn't just another stand-up night. This was Rock's first major appearance since the Oscars chaos involving Will Smith. And everyone knew he had something to say.
That's like marrying into the Budweiser family and going, they drink a lot.
Rock wasn't firing random shots either. He zeroed in on one person, someone critics say had been playing the sympathy card way too hard. He questioned how anyone could marry into one of the most famous families on earth and then act shocked by the spotlight. The crowd was already cracking up, and Rock was just getting loose. Then came the callback everyone recognized. He brought up that 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey, where Meghan and Harry dropped headline-grabbing claims.
2, attention. Can't get enough attention. We used to want love. Now we just want likes. Posting up pathetic pictures. This is me eating sushi. Like me. Easiest way to get attention is to be a victim.
There you go. He said it. He said it, not me. He said it.
Everybody claims to be a victim. When the real victims need help, ain't nobody gonna be there to help them. And right now we live in a world where the emergency room is filled up with motherfuckers with paper cuts. Okay? Everybody trying to be a victim.
Rock didn't whisper about it. He said it out loud, laughed through it, and let the audience connect the dots themselves. This was the moment everyone remembers.
Awkward. I was a bit shocked.
Well, maybe it was that old lady right there. For reasons that have yet to be explained, Meghan told Oprah that the palace decided before baby Archie was born that he wouldn't be prince, that he wouldn't be entitled to royal protection, and that they were concerned about how white the kid might not be.
So we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
Meghan had claimed that someone questioned how dark baby Archie's skin might be, and that was framed as her ultimate proof against the royal family. But Chris Rock didn't play along. He flipped the whole thing fast and took the claim apart, piece by piece, clean and sharp. The crowd went completely nuts. Why? Because Rock said what a lot of people had already been thinking, but didn't feel safe saying out loud. He made it clear that curiosity about a baby's looks isn't automatically racist. It's something people talk about across cultures and families every day. Then came the heavy hit.
It's funny that the royal palace has HR and it's just as unhelpful as HR every place else. They also told Oprah that they've been cut off financially. Oprah was like, sorry, I already gave out all my cars. I can't help you. Meghan claims she was silenced during her time in the UK, and after watching this last night, I have to say, I believe it.
There's a conversation with you?
With Harry.
About how dark your baby is going to be?
Potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
Ooh.
Rock called out the whole "I had no idea" storyline. He compared marrying into the royal family to joining any famous family, and then acting shocked when drama comes with the last name.
We check behind them ears. That's a scientific test. Because you got to see what kind of black child you gonna get. Is this a Steph Curry baby? Or a Draymond Green baby? That Draymond baby gonna have a hard life. I know what she going through. I know what Meghan Markle's going through. I know her dilemma. Black girl trying to be accepted by her white in-laws. Oh, it's hard.
It's hard, right? That's what he's trying to claim here, but not as hard as what, Chris?
It ain't as hard as a white girl trying to be accepted by her black in-laws. You bring a white girl home for Thanksgiving, your mama gonna say something. Your mama's like, why is there a social worker at the table?
The comparison landed hard, and the laughter was nonstop. At that point, the carefully built narrative started cracking in real time. But Rock didn't slow down. He went after the nonstop complaining, questioning how someone with extreme privilege could still frame themselves as the ultimate victim. He pointed out that this was a woman who married a prince, gained global fame, wealth, and access most people will never touch, yet still positioned herself as endlessly wronged. That contrast hit the audience hard, and the reaction said everything. The special went viral almost instantly. Social media lit up, clips spread everywhere, and suddenly the conversation shifted. People weren't just listening anymore, they were questioning things openly.
Turns out it's not. Meghan Markle said that when she joined the royal family, they took away her passport, driver's license, and keys. Welcome to the royal family. Please remove your belt and get ready for a cavity search. And her husband, Harry, made a number of startling accusations. The governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, vigorously denied all of them. Just out of reflex today. Meghan said that at one point, things got so bad, she went to HR at Buckingham Palace for help, and they refused to help.
Commentators and royal watchers jumped in, saying this moment landed like a gut punch for the Sussexes. And the irony wasn't lost on anyone, because Netflix was the same platform that paid Meghan and Harry millions for their documentary series. Awkward doesn't even cover it, but if you thought Chris Rock was ruthless, things were about to escalate. Jimmy Kimmel had been loading jokes for years, and he was ready to unload them on national TV. Let's rewind to March 2021.
Boy, no one delivers a what like Oprah, huh? And who can blame her? Imagine after centuries of inbreeding, all of a sudden these people are concerned about the color of a baby's skin. Prince Charles has the ears of a basset hound. They're worried about the skin. And by the way, they should hope that the kid looks more like Meghan than Harry. No offense, but I mean, Harry kind of looks like the guy who played Screech, may he rest in peace. Anyway, Oprah promised shocking revelations last night. Not only did she deliver them, no one was more shocked by what was shocking than Oprah was.
The interview with Oprah Winfrey had just aired, and the world was buzzing. Meghan and Harry made serious accusations, talked about mental health struggles, and publicly fractured their relationship with the palace.
These two ditched the royal family, came to the States. It's not clear to me why, having said everything they've said about the royals and the culture of the palace, why they would want these titles for their children. That seems
exactly
somewhat
right.
puzzling to me.
Because they have their titles, royal stationery, and this means nothing to them, but it's super fun to be a royal, so you can pound sand if you don't like it. And they may or may not go to the coronation. They've been invited to the coronation, but these two losers, I mean, as if they're going to skip that. Does anybody believe that? Have they ever chosen to forego a chance to be the center of attention or on cam? They will be there.
I mean, Lord knows
And
those
if they're
Netflix cameras are following them to that coronation.
I know,
maybe
it's their only
not.
cultural relevance.
But maybe not, because again, like, they've had projects scuttled in like the last year. I think interest in them is really waning. There's a lot of interest, obviously, in like people who are willing to criticize them. Like you, Meghan, your stuff does really well when you talk about them, because there's a huge market for it that's not being served. Because people are actually like, what are you talking about? You're insulting this country. You're insulting decent human beings, and you're trying to make money and profit off of all of it. And then you want to turn around and use those profits to censor us, to make our lives more unfair, to do all of these different things that is an abuse of your power. And so I think people are absolutely sick of it.
Late night TV was watching closely. When Jimmy Kimmel stepped up, he didn't treat it gently. He devoted his entire opening monologue to the interview and joked that it was the most shocking gender reveal party of all time, cutting through the tension with sharp humor that caught everyone off guard. The audience exploded with laughter right away, but then Jimmy Kimmel suddenly switched gears. He addressed Meghan's claim about being silenced, and for a split second, he sounded sincere. The room went quiet, and then boom! He dropped a punchline so sharp people are still quoting it years later.
It was the most talked
Of course,
about thing.
because of the,
So everyone at the time was like, you've got to do Meghan Markle, you've got to do Meghan Markle. And I thought that would be a good little added thing, you know, with the Britishness.
I'm assuming
of
Chris
Prince
Rock
Harry.
does a bit on her.
He must do a bit on her. So
Okay.
I found the clip.
Okay.
We genuinely have not seen this,
Okay.
including myself. We still haven't got round to watching the whole special, which we really need to.
Meghan Markle make her own pretzel bags. They don't know why.
That's interesting. She takes it from one bag and puts it in another bag.
Another bag.
And that confuses people.
Kimmel pointed out the wild irony in Meghan and Harry saying they fled England to escape racism, only to relocate to the United States. He paused and let it breathe, then reminded everyone that America has been wrestling with racial issues for centuries. The logic didn't quite line up, and Kimmel made sure the audience felt that tension loud and clear. Next, he turned to the royal family's alleged concerns about baby Archie's skin tone.
Maybe just tell her that your grandmother is the queen and you're in the royal family. I don't know how to break this to you, H. But if you weren't in the royal family, M wouldn't be with you.
Instead of treating it like an untouchable topic, Kimmel flipped the angle completely. He joked about the royal family's long, complicated bloodlines and highlighted the awkward contradiction in stressing genetics at all. Then Kimmel went full savage mode. He cracked a joke comparing Prince Harry's appearance to a well-known TV character, and the crowd absolutely lost it. This wasn't just casual teasing. It was Kimmel saying what many people joked about privately but rarely said out loud. Fast forward to January 2023. Harry's memoir, Spare, hit shelves and shattered sales records overnight. The book pulled back the curtain on royal life with deeply personal stories, family conflicts, and details that left readers stunned. And of course, Kimmel couldn't resist. He built an entire comedy segment around one of Harry's more eyebrow-raising revelations, turning it into late-night gold without holding back. Instead of tiptoeing around it, Kimmel leaned in and let the absurdity speak for itself. He even introduced a parody children's book inspired by the memoir, cleverly riffing on classic fairy tales while roasting the oversharing tone of the story. The sketch went viral within hours, spreading across social media like wildfire. By this point, something had clearly changed.
That's what triggered into his bit on Meghan. He did a couple other little bits in between, but here is when Meghan comes into play. Oh, sorry, wait, it's this clip.
Everybody trying to be a victim. Like, what's this girl, Meghan Markle? Seemed like a nice lady.
She did.
Just complaining. I was like, didn't she hit the light skin lottery?
No, I added those images.
Light skin lottery and still going on complaining. Acting all dumb like she don't know nothing. Going on Oprah, I didn't know. I had no idea how racist they were. It's the royal family. You didn't Google these motherfuckers?
This is the biggest complaint she gets. You didn't Google these mother effers? How do you not Google these people? How do you not know the history of the royal family? And he's gonna lay into them even further.
Harry and Meghan were no longer treated with caution or sympathy. The jokes came faster, sharper, and without restraint. The benefit of the doubt was gone, and Hollywood had decided these two were officially fair game for relentless comedy roasting. Jimmy Kimmel didn't stop there. He zeroed in on Prince Harry's constant victim posture, and the irony was impossible to miss. Here was a prince, born into extreme wealth and global status, airing grievances in a best-selling memoir like he'd been dealt the worst hand imaginable. And here's what mainstream media rarely spells out. Chris Rock and Jimmy Kimmel didn't wake up one day and randomly decide to roast Meghan and Harry. This was a reaction to years of carefully managed public relations, tightly staged interviews, and a pattern critics say leaned hard into victimhood while big checks kept rolling in. Think about it for a second. Meghan and Harry signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Netflix. They also landed a lucrative podcast agreement with Spotify, which ended far sooner than expected. Meanwhile, they kept giving interview after interview while saying they only wanted privacy and peace. That contradiction became impossible to overlook. Comedians build careers on pointing out obvious inconsistencies, and eventually, the gloves came off.
I thought Meghan and Harry came across well. They seemed they seemed genuine, but there was one part of the interview that didn't ring true to me when Oprah asked if they've seen a certain Netflix show.
I'm thinking because I watched The Crown, okay? I watched The Crown. Do you all watch The Crown?
I've watched some of it. You've watched some of it?
I've watched some of it.
All right, nobody watches some of The Crown. Once you start The Crown, you finish The Crown, you're hooked. Harry said racism was a big part of their decision to leave, which things are bad at Buckingham Palace if they came to America to get away from racism. It's like trying to get some peace and quiet at Chuck E. Cheese. The reaction in the UK this morning was fierce. Megxile, fights, camera, action. Queen, duty and family unite us. That's public service for you, Harry and Meghan, not a self-serving TV chat with Oprah. A lot of Brits are pissed, but Harry and Meghan live here now, and America loves them.
When the story stops adding up, humor steps in and calls it out loud. Chris Rock's special hit especially hard because it aired on Netflix, the very platform paying the Sussexes millions. Royal commentators noted how sharp that irony was. Meghan and Harry opened their lives to Netflix cameras, and Netflix responded by giving Rock a global stage to challenge their narrative with jokes that traveled everywhere.
Meghan said that she and Harry actually got married 3 days before the royal wedding. Great, now I feel like a fool for waking up at 5 a.m. to watch two married people get married.
I was curious what they did with Harry and Meghan's wax figures, so I found a museum employee who's temporarily storing them.
Kimmel took a slightly different route, but it worked just as well. By returning to the topic across multiple monologues over several years, he normalized the criticism. He showed that questioning inconsistencies didn't automatically make someone cruel or biased. It made them observant. And here's the kicker. Both Rock and Kimmel are highly respected, wildly successful voices in entertainment. When they speak, millions listen. When both independently highlight the same contradictions, it sends a message that lands hard across pop culture.
That made me laugh as well.
Mama, that's Jackie. We've been married 9 years.
He goes on, I had to trim all this for you. We got 3 grandkids.
You know I'm playing, right, Jackie? Just give me time, give me time. Meghan Markle! I know the dilemma. Black girl trying to be accepted by her white in-laws. I'm like, hey, if you black and you want to be accepted by your white in-laws, then you need to marry a Kardashian.
After Rock's special aired, the conversation around Meghan and Harry noticeably shifted. Public opinion surveys showed their popularity dipping, especially in the US, where they were once warmly received. People started re-examining everything, from claims of unfair treatment to constant media appearances paired with calls for privacy. Comedy has a unique power. It says what people are already thinking, without speeches or lectures. Rock and Kimmel didn't need documentaries or essays. They pointed out the contradictions, let the audience connect the dots, and the audience absolutely did, loudly. Social media lit up fast, and the reaction was loud.
It was just some in-law. So she's complaining. I'm like, what the is she talking about? Oprah, they're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby was gonna be. They're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby's gonna be. I'm like, that's not racist. Because even black people want to know how brown the baby goes.
Okay, and he went off on this for a while. Again, this idea that everyone is a victim. He's like, no, you're not a victim. I'm sorry. And one of the things that he said is, I'm not a victim either.
People rallied behind the comedians, relieved that someone finally said what had been bubbling under the surface for years. The mood shifted, the tide clearly turned, and Meghan's carefully managed public image took a serious hit. What's really interesting, though, neither Chris Rock nor Jimmy Kimmel faced real backlash. No mass cancellations, no apology tours, no networks scrambling to distance themselves. That alone spoke volumes, because it showed they weren't out of sync with public sentiment. Why did they get away with it? Simple. They were voicing what a large chunk of the audience already felt but hadn't heard said so bluntly. When jokes land without resistance, that's a sign the narrative has shifted. Even Jimmy Fallon joined in, poking fun at the confusing claims about Meghan and Harry being married before the official royal ceremony. Once multiple late-night hosts are openly joking about the same story beats, that's when you know control of the narrative is slipping fast. That's the real turning point. When comedians can roast you on national television and the crowd cheers instead of rushing to defend you, the spell is broken. Sympathy dries up and criticism becomes mainstream. So, what's the takeaway here? It's pretty straightforward. You can't lean on the victim role forever, especially when your actions don't line up with your words. You can't ask for privacy while signing massive media deals, and you can't expect people to ignore contradictions forever. Rock and Kimmel did exactly what top-tier comedians do. They held up a mirror and said, "Look at this closely." No speeches, no lectures, just jokes that forced people to think. And once people really looked, opinions started changing fast. Meghan Markle entered the royal world with a Hollywood glow and left it under non-stop scrutiny. Thanks to Rock and Kimmel, millions of viewers started seeing the story differently. Not as a fairy tale, but as a cautionary tale about image, power, and public trust. At that point, comedy wasn't just entertainment anymore. It became commentary, and the punchlines landed because the audience was ready for them. If you enjoyed this breakdown of how Hollywood turned on Meghan Markle, make sure you're subscribed right now because we're just getting started. Drop a comment and tell me what you think about Chris Rock and Jimmy Kimmel's jokes. Too much or right on target?